It's hard to believe that tomorrow marks the end of 2018. Um, it's surprising because it seems that this year, I should say, started. It feels like it just started and now it's ending. You know, heck, I look at my YouTube page and it's like, yeah, one of the accomplishments I did this year is hit over 1,000 videos or 10,000 videos or however you want to look at it. And that's an accomplishment in itself. You could look at it as 10,000, 10,000. You can look at it as a million, whatever you want to look at it. Or a billion, however you want to look at it, or a million. But mostly over 10,000 videos, and now I've surpassed that. Not even, and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but not even established people like Rob the Wonderful or Linkara or Rowdy C, have hit that milestone. I don't even think AVGN has, or even Nostalgia Critic. And again, it's not a knock against them. I understand they have their own personal lives. They have the other things they have to do to make ends meet, stuff like that. I get that. I totally understand that. But this marks the year that I did that was unbelievable. Not only that, but 2018 for me, as far as YouTube was concerned, despite all the changes a lot of people say that it's going through, and yeah, it is going through a lot of changes. I celebrated a decade on this channel. A decade, now a decade and a half, considering we're going into January. But yeah, about a decade on this with this channel, and I have multiple sub-channels around. I have a channel connected because of my Google Plus. I have a channel that I did originally as a backup. I have a channel on Dailymotion, on Vimeo. All these outlets that I have, because I don't want to take a chance that something may happen with this one. Now, has this year been mostly full of positives when it comes to my YouTube channel? Not really. Not entirely so. I think I started out the year, or somewhat the year, somewhere around this time. I can't know if it was this year, but it was sometime this year, or last year. But there was some time where I ended up losing my extension of time to only have it reduced to 15, and now all of a sudden it's back. Well, not now, but like it happened, and I think it happened like at the beginning of February. So I can't really recall, really, but it was like, I know it ended somewhat this year, at the beginning of this year, or towards the end of last year, or something like that. But yeah, like I said, has my YouTube channel been full of positives and negatives? Absolutely. Like I said, the positives are hitting over 10,000 videos. The positive being on this channel for over a decade now, and a decade and a half now. So there are positives, but again, like I said, there are negatives. One of the negatives just recently happened. As you all know, ABC aired the Mickey's 90th birthday back in November, 90th birthday spectacular back in November, and I decided, like an idiot, in a sense, that, hey, I'm going to use my camera to do a live stream of certain performances on the 90th birthday. And guess what happened? Well, one, yes, they ended up getting blocked and I had to take them down. But secondly, when I tried to do a live stream the next day, I couldn't do it because live stream was disabled or unavailable for the account at this time. Well, that's what they kind of say right now. And my only assumption on that is that's only happened to me for the next couple of months. So I would assume, hopefully by February, that things will be straightened out. I'll be able to live stream again. If not, I already got some ideas set in motion. As a matter of fact, a lot of you that follow me as far as my CAW league goes, my career wrestling league goes, kind of see the direction I'm going in. As far as like the big matches and all that go, like the big events that where I could have big time matches and all that, yeah, those are going to come into question, but I think I'll be able to figure something out. But anyway, as of right now, live stream is not an option for me unless I go to Twitch, and I don't know how Twitch works totally yet. You know, I don't know how to archive certain live streams if I do them, so maybe I can use those later on onto YouTube. I don't really know. So I gotta figure that out. Maybe some of you guys watching can kind of help me give me an idea of how to archive my live streams via Twitch, so I can so I can put them onto YouTube later on. Anyway, yeah, 2018, again, when it came to this channel, has had its positives and its negatives, so. But I'm just happy that I was able to celebrate a decade and a half on this channel, as well as celebrate over 10,000 videos on this channel, exceeding that even more so. But 2018 personally has been one of those years that you don't expect certain things to happen. For me and my mom, of course, earlier this year, we had to put our cat to sleep, her cat to sleep. Basically what happened, long story short, around this time last year, and the cat seemed to be full of life and everything even then, I noticed that there was some kind of like lump on her, like some kind of juicy lump, like water on the knee kind of deal. So I was wondering what that was. And I told my mom, so it felt kind of like juicy, like all you had to do is drain it and she'd be fine. Because she seemed to be okay for a bit. And like I said, she seemed to be okay. But unfortunately, we found out from the vet that it was a cancer, and it was a very advanced cancer. It wasn't advanced, but it was more like a very aggressive cancer. And the vet gave us two options. We can either amputate the leg, which would only give her 3 legs and all that to work with. You maybe have the option of putting a prosthetic later on, or give her medication. Hopefully that would strengthen the leg and maybe cause the thing to go down a little bit. And it looked like it was for a bit. It looked like something was happening that seemed to be positive, but then I just, just like with any kind of situation, just when you think something's good, that's just a sign that it's going to get worse. And in this case, this cancer got a lot worse, to the point that it just got to the point that she wasn't drinking water that much anymore. She wasn't able to make it to her litter box that much anymore. It's just a lot of stuff was happening, and finally, the time came where we had to basically make that decision. We didn't want to make that decision, but we had to make the decision that, this is not good, and we need to. It's time. And it was hard. It was hard for us, because it was hard for me, because I was the one that made the call to the vet saying, yeah, we got to do this. So yeah, it was hard, and it's hard anytime you have to do kind of anything like that. But it was, like I said, it was hard for us, and it was one of those moments that this year that we or anybody watching doesn't want to happen. The positives on that are the fact that, in a way, it feels like she's not gone. I mean, true, we had her cremated, we got her ashes, we have them here in the house, along with her collar. Um, but what's funny is it doesn't feel like she's really gone. And what I mean by that is the fact that um, because one of the things she liked to do is she always liked to hide in the garage. She always liked to be in the garage, no matter where we lived, and hide in there, because that was her own private space. And we knew as she was getting older, that this would inevitably be possibly what she'd be doing a lot more, because she didn't want us to see her maybe or whatever. But she was still healthy. She still felt like she could go. I mean, heck, during her final days, her final weeks, she would drag herself out into the kitchen and into the living room, much to our surprise. But yeah, the positive is spiritually and essentially, she's still here. It feels like she's not really gone. It's like we go in the garage, we still feel she's in there. We still feel her spirit, her presence, her essence. We still feel like she's in there. And all she's doing is hiding. And that's a good feeling. It feels like, she's not really gone. It's like we know where she is. We know we know spirit, we know that she's in heaven right now, running around, having the time of her life. But we also know spiritually and essentially that she is still here in this house, in that garage, hiding, doing her thing. So, yeah, it's like, it's a hard thing to do, but it's like spiritually, essentially, her presence is still here. It's like she's not really gone, and that's always a good thing. And on top of that, at times we have this big long-haired cat, we don't know if it's a male or a female, coming over to the house to lay down in any corner part of the house or the yard to get some sun. And he's white, and he's basically got a similar color scheme as she did. And I think, in my honest opinion, that's God's way of saying, your cat's all right. That's our cat's way of saying, I'm good, I'm great. Here's a sign. I'm sending this guy over to, not spend time with us, but kind of give you and I to kind of like live, kind of like in a sense semi-live, stay with you in their own way to let you know that I'm here. Basically, I think that's what it is. I see this cat. It's a long hair, ironically, similar color scheme. It's like God and our cat is telling us, hey, everything's good, everything's great. Here's a sign to let you know I'm doing fine. Now, does this cat let us approach it? I think the more it keeps coming over and the more it sees we're not going to be a threat, I think eventually it may let us, get closer to it. I mean, we know it lives with somebody else, obviously, but before this house was built, obviously a lot of animals like to come here and just lay down, homeless people as well, but still it feels like, like I said, she's not really gone, and, just having this cat show up every now and then just to lay down and get some sun, if you will, like she would get on the window ledges and get some sun, or lay down in front of the backyard door, the back screen door, the door leading to the backyard, and get some sun that way. It's like, it's a message, like everything's good, everything's cool. My mom says that we'll never get another cat again, but she said that before about not having any more animals. Like she didn't want no more dogs, and here we have our dog who still acts like a puppy at times, and she's 10 years old, still acts like she's younger than that. So you never say never when it comes to animals, and I think inevitably we will get another cat. It just takes time for that to happen. My excuse me, my second oldest sister, lost, and that was my dog. She's just scratching. I gave her a bath yesterday, so she's okay. But it's like my second oldest sister. She lost her cat. Her cat, who was a big tabby, and even lost a little young cat by having it accidentally get hit. And it took her a bit, maybe not as long as it would probably take my mom, but it took her a bit. But she ended up getting a long-haired cat now. It's kind of got a darker color scheme. It's a long hair, but it's basically got like a similar darker color scheme to what her cat had. And she's keeping it indoors now. So she keeps that cat indoors now. So yeah, it's like you never say never. Just because you say you won't doesn't mean you will. And I think basically it's the emotion that takes hold. Basically, you got to give yourself time to be like, yeah, I'm not out of the woods yet, but I'm getting there. So it's like, I think what my mom is waiting for, she's waiting for God to give her that okay to be like, it's all right. Your cat's saying it's good, go for it. So, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. The other thing about 2018 for me was, I mentioned earlier my CAW league and how one of the things about my videos that has helped me get to over 10,000 videos this year was my live streaming of my created wrestling league, DCWA. DCWA for the captions here on YouTube. Which is short for Downloadable Car Wrestling Association or something like that. And basically, it's a hybrid league of original content, characters, and stuff created by me, along with downloaded content of characters and things created by others. And this was actually, believe it or not, the first year I've ever, and I mean this honestly, ever had anybody get on me about using the CAWs, because I had done this in the past. I had done this since they implemented, and that was my dog, she's fine. I had done this since they implemented the whole community creations and being able to upload and download other people's creations and all that. Ever since they implemented that into the WWE game series, or video game series, I think through 2K, or even before that, I think it was mostly 2K, I've never had a problem. I have downloaded characters that I've used before, and no one has ever said anything. Heck, I've recreated characters that I've seen, and no one has said anything. And again, I don't know when they started implementing it to where you could upload and download through community creations. Again, I don't know if it was 2K or THQ. I can't remember who it was. But I'd never, ever, and I'm being totally honest here, never had anybody get on me. That is until I started sharing my league and what it was about and what shows I had and what CPVs, which were short for car per views. In other words, created wrestling versions of pay-per-views. Never once did I have anybody get on me about that. Never once. And then all of a sudden this year, I share it on, like I said, certain Facebook, CAW wrestling group pages. And now all of a sudden, I have people coming out of the woodworks telling me, you didn't ask me to do this, you didn't ask me to do that. Why are you using my that? And I'm like, hey, my overall argument in the end, folks, argument in the end, which I still. I understand, people asking for permission. Heck, nowadays, when I go to the community creations on WWE 2K19 and I see these same characters, I go into view details, I click on view details, and it says right in one of the descriptions, please DM me or please PM me to see if you can use it. Basically, now you got people saying, if you want to use my character, please directly message me, or please private message me. And it's like, really? You think people are going to honestly obey that? In time, what's going to happen is you may have a few downloads here and there, but sooner or later you're going to end up looking at those downloads on your characters, and they're going to increase significantly to the point you're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I didn't give permission to all these other people. What's going on? And then it's going to dawn on you that not a lot of people are going to abide by that. Heck, earlier this month or last month, I downloaded 2 characters called Moonlight and Alice Blackwell. I used them in a CAW exhibition match. The person that created them said, hey, you didn't ask my permission, can you take them down? And as courtesy to him, I took them down. I took them out of the roster. The point is, though, that is an example, in my opinion, that nobody's going to directly message you if they want to use your character. They might just take your character, redesign it into their own character, and even though you might recognize it, if you see it in a video, and you might recognize its moveset as being related, or if not connected to your character, then yeah, it might dawn on you, wait a minute, did they take my character, but yet they redesigned it? And you see, I respect the fact that they want people to ask for their permission. I respect that. I understand that. But again, getting back to what I was saying, this is the first year I've ever had to encounter that. I've never encountered that before. Heck, the year before, when I was using 2K17, I think it was 2K. Yeah, I was using 2K17 before 2K18. When I was using that, I had downloaded these same people before. I created my own version of the Bullet Club for my league, and I put some of these people in the Bullet Club, and guess what? Nobody said anything. Nobody. Nobody said anything at all. And I'm thinking to myself, what is the big deal here? I don't get it. You know, why all of a sudden am I being told, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that? It's not like, what's the end game here is what I want to know. It's what I've been wanting to know, what anybody's been wanting to know. What is the end game? Do you think, there's one CAW that I've seen in these other established CAW leagues like CCL and DCA and ACW and ECCW and DWF or COH, all these places. And his character has been downloaded almost over about 500 times. Are you telling me 500 CAW leagues said, oh, can we use your character? Can we use your character? Can we use your character? No. And I think honestly, when one thinks of it, when one puts it into perspective, it's gonna dawn on a lot of these people that just because, and this is a great thing they're doing, it's a great thing that they're doing, just because you want to tell people in your description, hey, can you please directly message me? Can you please private message me before you use my characters, or see if you can use my character? Just because you can come out and say that to them doesn't mean honestly that they're going to abide by what you have to say. They're not going to listen to you. And that's the truth. That is the truth. There's going to be a lot of young players of this game that are not going to pay attention to what AJ Young has to say, or what so-and-so has to say, what Sean Walsh has to say, what Ben Hopkins has to say. None of them are going to pay attention. You know why? None of them are going to pay attention. You know why? because they're going to look at that character. They're going to recognize it as a character they've seen in these other leagues. Say, I want that character as part of my roster, as part of my league. And they're going to take it, and they're not going to say anything to you. They're not going to ask you or anything. They're just going to do it. You know, they're just going to do it. And that's it. And that was my dog. You know, they're just going to ask. I mean, not going to ask, but they're just going to take it and not ask. And that's the thing that I think these people have to realize. You know, look, again, I don't see what the big deal is. You know, unless they're hoping that their CAW leagues will be the key to a game series like the WWE 2K series being recognized by MLG, Major League Gaming, as something good, and they'll want to basically, you know, download, and basically they're hoping MLG will probably say, hey, let's make WWE 2K part of the league and make it one of the games that you compete in, all because these CAW leagues made it happen. No, if that's what they're hoping for, it's not going to happen. That's not going to occur. And I think the other thing that as well that's going to wake them up, if not has woken up some people already, and that was my dog, she's fine. And I think what's woken up a lot of people already, is the fact that I'm sure a lot of them have contacted 2K Sports or 2K Interactive in the 2K Sports division, expressed their concern about me and others downloading their characters through community creation without getting their consent. And I'm pretty sure 2K has said, look, has simply come out and said, look, you're the ones that uploaded the community creations, right? Well then, if you're the ones that did that, you should have known that you're opening the door to allow not just the people you want, but others to download your content. And that's about it. I'm pretty sure that's what they told them. So that's why I'm thinking now, as well as you got these people asking in the descriptions and in the details, hey, can you please, you know, basically ask us before you use? Because I'm sure they may have gotten in contact with 2K, and 2K told them, look, it's not on them, it's not on us, it's on you. I'm not saying that's probably what happened, but I'm guessing that's probably what some could have gone through. Just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever had to deal with that. So I'm being more careful now, but again, I guarantee you it's not going to stop with me or anybody else. There's going to be others out there. Just because, let's say, AJ Young or Sean Walsh or whoever creates a character for the league that they want to establish with that league only or other leagues only, just because they think, oh, well, we're only going to let certain people use it if they ask us, if they think that's going to happen, they're wrong. Because it's not. And they need to wake up and realize that. Anyway, be right back, folks. Sorry about that, folks. I had to give my dog a bit of a snack there. But yeah, I've had to deal with something like that ever, and like I said, I'm being a little bit more careful. But like I was saying, I guarantee you that um, I'm not going to be the only one that does something like that. I guarantee you guys that you check out my league, and if you don't see any of your characters, I guarantee there's going to be a reason for that. It's going to be a reason because one, I didn't download them, and if you start noticing an increase, an unexpected increase, then you're going to know that there are others like that out there. So, yeah, like I said, it was the first time I've had to deal with that, but hopefully that won't. Hopefully it'll be the last because I don't think it's really a problem, and I don't. And honestly, I think those out there feel the same way too. It's just more along the lines of I don't think they like seeing those certain CAWOCs, as they call them, getting beat and pinned by fictional characters like, let's say, a Judy Hopps or a Sally Acorn, or even if you create a version of Sunset Shimmer from Equestria Girls and My Little Pony, I don't think they're going to want to see that. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Speaking of My Little Pony, I'll tell you this. This year has definitely been an increase as far as my fandom goes. I mean, you can see in the back of me, I don't think you can really see it that much, but it's been a major increase in a sense. Matter of fact, if I can, yeah, you kind of see in the back, it's kind of been a major increase. Book-wise, pretty much the same a little bit. I mean, comics I did get, I ended up getting some comics, like this one I ended up getting. As well as a few more. I think we can pull them out here. And of course I got one for the movie, a prequel. Okay. So yeah, I ended up getting some new stuff. I even ended up getting this as well. So I have to rearrange some stuff here, but I ended up getting this. I think I showed that before. And there goes a couple of my books already, so. I think it's just the increase of the books. Gotta make some room eventually. I got this during Halloween, so. And that as well. Like I said, I just think it's the increase of the books right now. There we go. But yeah, I got a couple of books and all that, so which is pretty cool. And then of course, like as you, of course, they lean back again. I don't know what's it's the magnet button. There we go. Lean that a little bit forward. There we go. I may have to take out the sketch and the pencils right there and put them someplace else. Anyway, but like I said, you can see here as well, end up getting some plushes through Olay Factory, which is O-L-Y Factory. I ended up getting them. Some of them I got through, I think, eBay, like Celestia and Luna. I think I got through eBay, I believe. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was. And the Cadence I got through Hexar.com, which is Hexir.com. So whoever told me about that, I already knew about it. And I got Sunset, I think, through eBay as well. And then right next to Sunset is a big Starlight Build-A-Bear plushie, which I also got this year. Let me bring her into focus because I don't think you can see her. Yeah, but I ended up getting her this year as well. Tried to keep the hair similar to what she kind of has on the show. So, and of course I have this, which I got myself last year for a Christmas gift. Still have it, as well as I still have this, Star Wars. So, the other thing I also got this year, in fact, I don't want to take my camera down or anything, so I'm going to probably take a picture of it so you guys can see it. Hold on. It's got a lot of figures on it, so don't be surprised by that. But also, I don't know if you can get into focus there. I also got that. That is the Canterlot Sequestria set. I got the Wal-Mart exclusive because the Wal-Mart exclusive apparently came with Twilight Sparkle. From what I understand, it came with Twilight Sparkle, so I ended up getting that. And you can see all the figures. I got all these figures individually as well. Like Luna I got on my own with, I think, Pinky. Some of them that you could see on there. Whoops, maybe you can't see. Hold on. Hey, don't you just hate it when the thing does that? But some of them you can see. Some of them are mostly the All About Me ones. You can kind of see that I got a rarity. I got rarity there. I got Twilight's Tempest figure, the fan series figure, as well. And I got, like I say, rarity and all that. So, and I got the Sky Ranger. I think that's his name. Sky Ranger horse. A Sky Ranger hippogriff, guardian or whatever he's called. And the focus. So, yeah, I ended up getting that this year, which was probably one of the bigger ones I got. Figure playset wise, as well as I got the Magic of Every Pony Target exclusive. I have videos on this if you want to check it out. Key in My Little Pony in the search bar here on my channel and you'll see it. I also got this, which was one of the more anticipated ones of the year, fan series wise. I ended up getting this, which is Starlight and Trixie, which I thought was pretty nice. Also, be careful with it. When I got DJ Pone on a vinyl scratch, which was really nice. So, I also ended up getting the little playset of the Nightmare Night kind of deal. It has Twilight dressed up as Starswell and has Zecora, and it's the Golden Oak Library, I think. Ended up getting that, as well as a few other things as well, including, which surprised me because I've noticed over the past year or so that we're getting that a lot of established franchises get these. So that's there on the top, but we can fix that. Looks like it might be, yeah, I don't think so. But I ended up getting this as well, which is I thought was pretty cool. I got it on clearance, believe it or not. I did my best to hide this because I knew it would probably be bought if I didn't. And then of course, I ended up getting a lot of these this year because I didn't even know these were coming out until I saw them. These mega mystery boxes, and I still have one I have to do the explanation of, I think. Yeah, this one I already talked about. But I do have another I have to talk about, and it has, I think, one more Luna tin lunch box I have to open. So I also ended up getting a lot of figures this year as well, like the little mini Funko figures of the Pow Ponies. I ended up getting those. I ended up getting some new figures, like the new Celestial one that they advertised a year ago. But anyway, I ended up getting the Celestial one they advertised over a year ago. The one where she glows with the sun. You press the button, and I think she glows. I think I can do it here. Let me try to pull her out with no problem. Oh, there was a problem. There goes a pony. But I ended up getting this one. This is the Celestial one that glows, so it's pretty cool. She glows different colors, I know that. And see what pony fell here. Oh, pony fell into obscurity. Somebody fell, hold on. Got a lot of stuff falling here, I've got to do some rearranging. Hold on, folks. Found it. She accidentally knocked over Octavia Melody. I pulled her out. But yeah, I got Octavia Melody. I got these little minifigures from the mystery boxes. I also ended up getting myself, basically through Amazon, the whole freaking box of wave, I think 23 and 24 of the My Little Pony mystery bags. Mystery bags, you know, the kind that they send to the stores and they display them. I ended up getting those, and I ended up getting a whole bunch of those actually. And and yeah, this way I was guaranteed to get guaranteed to get them all in that set, because you try to get them individually and it's hard. But yeah, overall not too bad. I mean, my pony collection has increased. There's no doubt about that. Um, of course, if you must know, yes, I have started to get these. But the reason I get these, according to from what I've said before, is due to the fact that it's due to the fact that basically I feel that they're the more closer representation of what Friendship with Magic is, especially when you look at the animated movies and shorts now, especially the mini movies. You're starting to see them be more engrossed into the Equestria Prime world, as I call it, the Friendship is Magic world, than ever. So yeah, it's just really cool to see that. The other, of course, speaking of MLP, of course, speaking about MLP, I ended up at the beginning of the year getting the movie on Blu-ray. This is the Walmart exclusive because it came with a water bottle. And Cinema Blend called it a truly magical adventure, that being the movie, but on Cinema Blend said it was truly magical adventure. So yeah, I got the movie Walmart exclusive with the water bottle. And then later later this year, and then of course several months ago, this was advertised. I saw it displayed in a picture behind a glass case at San Diego Comic-Con. We have the 35th anniversary edition 2-movie 4-disc collection of both the 2017 My Little Pony movie and the original 1986 one on Blu-ray for the first time, that being the 86 one. And then of course they brought this out for Halloween. This had some season 7 episodes on it. And I still have yet to get season 7 on DVD, but I plan to do that very soon. And then of course I ended up getting season 6 when it came out. And then earlier this year they premiered this, which a lot of people were hyped about, because it featured the reuniting of Sunset Shimmer and Princess Celestia. We're talking about Forgotten Friendship. So I DVR'd it and recorded it eventually onto DVD. And then of course, as of October, boom, got this onto DVD when I recorded it and did a live reaction to it when it first came out. And that's my dog, she's okay. She's just acting up right now because it's New Year's weekend and you know what that is to animals. So yeah, I ended up getting this. I ended up recording Best Gift Ever. And then speaking of recordings, let me see what else I have here. Oh, was that Forgotten Friendship? No, that was Best Gift Ever, sorry. No, yeah, I did show you Forgotten Friendship. Yeah, okay. Forgotten Friendship is right there. And then Best Gift Ever is right here. Okay, speaking of recordings. So, I ended up DVRing and recording afterwards, best I could, all of Season 8 across 2.5 discs. Disc 1, Disc 2, and Disc 3. Or disc and a half, if you will. The original plan was to try to go two episodes, basically to try to record it and keep it onto 2 discs, but unfortunately what happened, and this is the problem with doing something like that, where you DVR and and then you try to record it later on, is if you put a reminder for something, the reminder is going to pop up and it's going to mess you up a little bit. Thankfully, if you've DVR'd, all you have to do is erase that previous recording, if you have a DVD recorder, that is, and then just re-record it, re-record your DVR recording onto the DVD. So yeah, I ended up getting, like I said, all of season 8, and I plan to keep doing that for season 9 as well, especially if season 9 is the last season, if it's the last season, you know. So, yeah, just a lot of stuff been going on, and of course, like I said, one of the other things I added to my collection, and you could check out a video on here as well, is I ended up getting the the San Diego Comic-Con My Little Pony Greatest Hits set, which features Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Pinky remolded into an 80s like design. I also ended up getting some T-shirts that promoted that when back in the summer through Hasbro's San Diego Comic-Con store on Amazon. So yeah, just the growth of a lot of stuff been going on. Of course, I still collect my superhero stuff. Like I ended up getting the X-Men X-23 Wolverine, which I did a review on, as well as the Phoenix, as well. So you could check both of those out. I even talked about Rogue and Emma Frost, which I also got. So again, check those videos out here on my channel. You'll hear what I have to say on those. Of course, probably the biggest accomplishment for me this year, console-wise, I think it was this year, was of course, and let me pull it out here for a second, was of course getting the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. I ended up getting the Nintendo Switch. Much to, I think, anybody's surprise. This thing's been out for about a year, I think now. Over a year, because I remember last year, I think it was last year, I remember last year my niece had gotten my nephew, my great nephew, her son, a Switch for his birthday. And I think, was it last year or was it this year? I can't remember. No, it was last year. It was last year, actually. Gotta look at the year of when the Switch came out. But she got one for him, and at the same time, she decided to get one for her brother, who is my second older nephew. So they've had those Switches for about over a year now. Over a year. And I think I've had mine just a little less than that. I think I got it for myself for, I don't know, was it Christmas or the beginning of this year or something like that. I can't remember. But I ended up getting my own as well. So, and it's taken me time because for a while the only game I had was Mario Odyssey, and I was more focused on getting my Xbox One collection built as well as my PlayStation 4 collection built. And then finally, you know, with the announcement of not Brawl, but Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and all that, I just decided to start focusing on it more. And the rest is history. Doesn't mean I'm not playing all my systems at once, I am, so I'm really happy about that. I also ended up this year getting an SNES Classic and an NES Classic when they re-released the NES Classic. So I ended up getting those. Again, I've done videos on these, check them out. Yeah, just overall, just added to a bunch of stuff as well, like my movie collections, you know, Death of Superman I got, stuff like that. Just a bunch of stuff. Overall, it's been a productive year, you know, adding and building to collections that I have. Um, work-wise, I will say that work's kind of been up and down at times. What job isn't up and down? What job, isn't up and down, but yeah, it's been one of those years to where management itself has kind of been like changing. It's been like a rotating door for like management. you know, I'll say this. The managers we got now are nice. You could tell that in a sense the front end manager we have, she's new at the job, but she's learning as well, and she's willing to be understanding. She's cool and everything. She gets where we're coming from. Um, we do have one manager. She's kind of in charge of what we call security AP, if you will. And oh boy, she's a good. Don't get me wrong. This AP lady, the security lady, she's cool. She's down to earth. But man, talk about being very like business-like. Take your job seriously. Don't take chances, kind of lady. We also have a new regional manager, so maybe he had something to say about certain things. But I'll give you an example. Recently, I was helping out, taking down some shelves and all that, some of those metal shelves, and I was wondering what this was about. And we didn't know what was going on, because usually this shelf area that was near the pharmacy side self checkout area was for like made for TV checkout items, like made for TV items, stuff like that. But basically what happened, and this was about a month ago, earlier this month, I was told along with others to take down the shelves. So we're thinking of what's going on, and then we find out what it is. They had brought some people in, they started to build, and they brought some people in to finish it. Or they had brought some people in to finish it, or to build it, get it up quickly. They had built a cage, if you will. You see these cages, these glass cages at stores, Target, whether it's Target or Kohl's or whatever. And they put this glass cage up. And we're thinking, what's the glass cage for? We're thinking maybe it might be alcohol or something to make it more convenient. Nope. It's for the batteries. Yeah, regular batteries. Whether they be AA, AAA, 9 volt, D size, C size, camera batteries you need for like security system, you name it, they're now behind a glass cage. Yeah. And I guess because batteries become such a valuable item or something, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, now they're behind a glass cage. So now, anytime somebody wants batteries, we have this like little box there with a red button, where you press the red button, it sends out an alert to the managers to say, it sends an alert out to the managers with a message along the lines of, customer needs help at battery cage. And the same goes for like site to store. They have the same kind of little box on the desk of site to store. Customer presses that, message gets sent out, customer needs help at site to store. Or they even have it, of course, they have to have it at alcohol, and it says, customer need help at the alcohol cage. And it's like, okay, alcohol I can understand. Formula cage, for babies and all that, I can understand. But batteries? Seriously? I don't know. But if you want the biggest example of possibly, not saying it was her idea, or even if it was regional manager's idea, I'm not saying it was. But the other day, Friday evening, just moments before I got off, I was asked to go do a propane exchange. So I go do the propane exchange. I'm given the keys, thinking, okay, I can do this propane exchange. Just unlock it, open up the cage, bring out the full propane tank, exchange it for the empty one the customer's bringing in. Guess what? Can't do it. Cannot do it. Why? Because the key, and I'm using every key that's going to fit into that lock, it won't open. I tell my CSM, he comes out, can't open them. I tell my other CSM, she comes out, can't open it. They bring out the assistant manager, our new assistant manager. She comes out. She uses her keys, and she would usually have the master keys, right? She'd be the ones that would have the keys that would open it, or would open the lock if there was no other keys to use, or there was no keys around, right? So the assistant manager would be the one that would have the master set, right? She tries opening, can't do it. We're thinking, what's going on? So we have to basically I have to tell my fellow associates before I leave, yeah, let customers know that want propane, we can't do propane, we can't open the damn locks. Excuse my language, God. Excuse my language, God, in your name I pray, amen. But like I said, we can't open the locks. So again, I'm not saying it was her idea, and I'm not saying it was regionals, but it's kind of weird that when one of the CSMs, before she leaves, and she's handing off the keys, some of the main keys that CSMs need to do what they have to do up front, whether it's get money for the fellow cashiers and associates, for the registers or whatever, she tells one of the CSMs, yeah, the locks were changed. But by who? Who authorized it? And the only thing that comes to my mind, and again, it may or may not have been her, is the AP officer. Is our new AP ASM. And you're thinking, why? Why do this? And if it was her, my only thought is maybe her reasoning is, well, because the locks on them were getting frail, and they may have been proven to be too breakable, so we needed to change them. I don't know. But again, why? Nobody knew why. Nobody knew why. But yeah, it's been one of those kind of years. It's been another thing too, because now, with any retail job, whether it's Target, Kohl's, Wal-Mart, Sears, Godspeed, that they get back on their feet, Macy's, wherever, rules end up changing. You get a lot of rule changes, right? Well, here we ended up getting some rule changes almost constantly at times. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you gotta do this. You can't do this. You gotta do this. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. It's like, make up your mind. Put down a set of rules and stick with it, right? And now, here's the other thing. So now when they ask the cashiers to go watch the doors, kind of guard the doors for the greeters, the people that have to check your receipts before you leave, make sure you got everything, you're not trying to sneak out, or the cashier forgot. They have to wear the yellow vest, just like the CSMs have to wear the yellow vest. In the past, when they would ask a cashier or somebody to do it, they didn't have to do it. Whether it was a cashier or somebody else, they didn't have to do it. Now they do. And it's not just that. Now when they also help out, being assigned to, let's say, the self-checkout area to stand in for the self-checkout host, SCO, who also wears yellow, they got to wear yellow too. And I'm thinking, okay, when did this change get implemented? And nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong, honestly, okay? Don't take it the wrong way. But it's like, when did this change happen? And I think that's the one thing I'm hoping that they work on going into the new year. Because one of the things that's been kind of put on the back burner is cashier meetings. We have associate meetings, but we don't have cashier meetings. And we need to have one. We need to have one to get the cashiers' heads, like mine, that kind of go like, what's going on? What's going on? Going like, woo, 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 woo. Chicken with the head cut off kind of deal. To get them on straight to be like, this is what needs to be done, this is how it's done. And that's all they have to do. Hopefully they bring and implement that back into a regular routine next year. But yeah, it's been one of those years. I mean, I'll tell you one thing, it's been one of the more active security, get cops here, customers kind of years as well, because there have been several times, probably more so since I've started, to where we've had to have security come in, talk to people. We've had to have, customers have basically gotten on our last nerves to the point that we've had to implement the rules to ask them to leave because we refuse to give them service because of the way they're acting. It's been one of those years. One of them. I mean, oh my God. I can only imagine what 2019 is going to hold. I really do. I mean, just 2 days ago before I got out, we had a couple of sheriff calls show up because a family with kids was being accused of shoplifting and was acting suspiciously, swearing and all that. So I don't know what was going on. It was like weird. Just one of those years, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, though, that's really all I can say about 2018 for me, from a personal level, personally, work-wise, collection-wise. That's really all I have to say. I mean, I did, just in case I forgot, I ended up getting myself the micro player retro arcade version of Pac-Man, and I got the arcade classics mini arcade of Rampage. So, and then of course, thanks to I think it was Frank Hill, I ended up getting the complete Blu-ray set of Gravity Falls. So thank you, Frank Hill, for sending that. I think it was Frank, or it was Ignacio Hernandez. If it was one of you, if both of you, thank you guys both, and thank you both for your contributions and all that as well. But yeah, thanks to one of them, if not both of them, I ended up getting the complete set of Gravity Falls. So yeah, that's really all I can say about what's happened so far in 2018, and here's hoping and looking forward to a hopefully more proactive, more positive, maybe more collection building, more of an expansion kind of deal for me in 2019. And maybe finally I might get the opportunity to be a backup CSM, which only backs up the CSMs for about an hour or so while we wait for them to come back from lunch or the other to clock in. Hopefully I'll get to that opportunity. And here's looking forward to my 5th year at Wal-Mart when it hits February 18th of 2019. And then of course, this Tuesday marks and starts the countdown to July 25th, 2019, for when I will turn the big 4-0. Yeah, hard to believe. So, milestone year coming up. Just like this was somewhat of a milestone year when it came to my YouTube channel. Personally and work-wise, next year will be a milestone as well. So, really, that's all I could say, guys. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a safe and happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I don't know what's going on with my family. I'm assuming something's going to happen with me and my family. I'm not really sure. I mean, I bought some New Year's stuff and everything, so hopefully I can put that to good use. I bought some champagne. I bought a 30-pack of Bud Light. So again, hopefully I can put some of that to good use. Tomorrow, we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, that's all I can say, guys. So let me know. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully you've taken your time with this, and I will talk to you all later. Have a safe and happy New Year, and I am out.